In the quiet farming community of Biggar, Saskatchewan, the passing of Milo Hanson has brought a profound sense of reflection to hunters, conservationists, and outdoor enthusiasts around the world. Hanson, best known as the man behind the world record whitetail deer known as the Hanson Buck, has died, marking the end of an era in global hunting history and closing a chapter on a life that forever changed how success, ethics, and conservation are measured in the outdoors. For decades, Milo Hanson's name has been inseparable from one of the most iconic animals ever taken in North America. In 1993, Hanson harvested a Saskatchewan whitetail deer that would later be officially recognized as the highest-scoring typical whitetail ever recorded. The buck's massive, symmetrical antlers stunned the hunting world and quickly elevated Hanson from a private prairie farmer to an internationally known figure. Yet those who knew him say that while the record brought fame, it never defined who he was. The deer, widely referred to as the Hanson Buck, became more than a record book entry. It became a symbol. For many hunters, it represented the ultimate benchmark of what a whitetail could be. For conservationists, it stood as proof of what healthy habitat, careful wildlife management, and time can produce. And for Hanson himself, it was simply the result of being patient, respectful, and connected to the land he had lived on for most of his life. Tributes have poured in following news of Hanson's death, with outdoor organizations, hunting media, and individuals across continents sharing memories and gratitude. Panoramic Outdoors described him as a true legend, noting that his achievement did not just make history, but shaped it. Many echoed the same sentiment, emphasizing that Hanson's influence extended far beyond antler measurements or record rankings. His story helped shape conversations about ethical hunting and long-term stewardship of wildlife. Despite the global attention that followed the 1993 hunt, Hanson remained deeply rooted in Saskatchewan. He was known as a quiet, private man who valued family, tradition, and the steady rhythms of rural life. Biggar was not just where the record was made, it was home. Friends and neighbors often describe Hanson as humble and unassuming, someone who never chased the spotlight and never tried to capitalize excessively on his fame. The circumstances of the hunt itself were never wrapped in dramatic myth or exaggeration. It was a cold November day, a familiar landscape, and a deer that stood out immediately for its size and presence. When the measurements were later confirmed, the news spread quickly, and the hunting world took notice. Over time, the buck's score became legendary, studied and referenced by hunters who dreamed of seeing something similar in their own lifetime. Yet as the years passed, many came to realize that the true significance of the Hanson Buck was not just how big it was, but what it represented. The animal was a product of healthy genetics, quality habitat, and restraint. It was a reminder that record-breaking wildlife does not happen by accident, but through balanced ecosystems and responsible management. Hanson's story became a case study in how conservation success can emerge when people respect the land rather than exploit it. Hanson never positioned himself as a spokesperson or activist, but his experience naturally carried influence. His name appeared in magazines, books, and conversations wherever whitetail hunting was discussed. Young hunters learned about patience and ethics through his story. Seasoned hunters pointed to the Hanson Buck as evidence that letting deer grow and protecting habitat benefits everyone. In this way, Hanson's legacy quietly educated generations. In Biggar, the record became part of the town's identity. Visitors stopped by to see displays, hear the story, or simply connect a small prairie town to a moment of global significance. Even then, Hanson maintained balance, sharing the story without letting it consume his life. Those close to him say he always preferred to talk about family, farming, and everyday matters rather than focusing on his place in hunting history. As news of his death spread, social media and outdoor forums filled with messages of respect and remembrance. Many reflected on where they were when they first heard about the Hanson Buck. Others spoke about how the story inspired them to hunt more responsibly or to think differently about conservation. For some, Hanson's legacy represented the peak of what ethical, fair chase hunting could look like when done right. The passing of Milo Hanson also prompted reflection on the passage of time. More than 3 decades have passed since the record was set, and yet it still stands. In a world where records are often broken quickly and attention shifts rapidly, the endurance of the Hanson Buck underscores its uniqueness. It also highlights how rare such moments truly are, and how deeply they can resonate across generations. For the conservation community, Hanson's death is a reminder that behind every famous animal is a human story. A story shaped by place, values, and choices. Hanson did not set out to become a legend. He was a farmer and a hunter who respected his surroundings and lived according to the traditions passed down to him. The record followed naturally, not through pursuit of fame, but through connection to the land. As his family mourns privately, the broader outdoor world pauses to acknowledge the impact of his life. Milo Hanson leaves behind more than a record etched into books. He leaves behind a legacy measured in influence, inspiration, and example. His story continues to remind people that true achievement in the outdoors is not only about size or score, but about respect, patience, and stewardship. In the end, the Hanson Buck may always be remembered for its astonishing antlers, but Milo Hanson will be remembered for something deeper. He showed that greatness can emerge quietly from a small town through ordinary life lived with care. As tributes continue to come in, one truth remains clear. The legacy of Milo Hanson will endure, not just in inches and numbers, but in the values he represented and the conversations he helped shape for generations to come.